level that you're not maybe sure about, we can have a look at it so that we can be able to know what we'll be looking for the remaining days of the week. That is probably tomorrow is the last day for most of you guys who trade on Thursday. Tomorrow is the last day, and we look forward for also Friday. All right, so most of the pairs that I've been having is actually I've been having some swing opportunities, especially in dollar pairs. And let's look at, because some of them did not give us entry opportunities for the intraday setups, but NZD-USD and EUR-CAD were able to give me good intraday setups that I was able to engage. Those are the two trades that I took for today. I'm still managing the swing positions that I've been holding for some from last week and some from starting from this week. So let's jump into the charts and see what happened. So we might not go through all the pairs, but if you have a specific pair that you want us to look at, we'll definitely get a look at it. Right. So the first pair that I was having the swing opportunity was Euro JPY. Once it established this high from Friday, last week on Friday, I was able to enter at this peak tip here, because that is the importance of knowing how you counting your levels. When you get to know how you counting your levels, then it's easy for you to know when the price is going to turn to start going bearish if the market was bullish. All right, so I'm still holding it here up to this point here, but I'm looking to exit because we already have 3 levels of drop. And then we wait for the market to reset and give us the next move, because the overall directional bias, if you look at it from the monthly time frame,
Harish, he's coming at 8 in the morning. I don't know if you're available to. Yes, I mean, at least. Right, because I would want you to be there because, yeah.
right? Please ensure your mic is muted when you're entering the class, or if you want to speak to somebody, right? So this was a counter trend trade for a buy opportunity when you understand what the market was doing at this basic here. But if I was looking for an opportunity in line with my directional bias, as of this hour, as how the market is set up at this time, I couldn't have engaged on this. There was no setup for me to
economy is no longer a suspect.
Aaron Richardson, please, can you mute yourself?
Forensic evidence must support those allegations.
Aaron Richardson, can you mute yourself? I will take you out of the call. Aaron Richardson 1. Can you mute yourself? I'm sorry, guys. I have to, guys like these ones, I have to take them out of the call. If you're coming into the call and you're having your mic on, you're causing distraction to the rest of the team. Please, let's observe that. If you have to speak to somebody outside, make sure you mute your mic. Right? So that is Euro JPY for you. Right? Waited patiently. This will have been a good signal for you to enter for your buy opportunity, get 50 pips out of the market, and you're good to go. Right? Euro card, we had a good sell opportunity in line with my directional bias. This is what we had here for the intraday setup. This is what we had here for the sell opportunity. That is our entry signal, and 50 pips were achieved. Right? This is a type 3 setup. It was easy to observe once you understood your directional bias, what you're looking for. And then AUD card was another setup that I engaged and got 30 pips out of the market, and I was done trading like that. So depending on the risk tolerance and how you want to engage on the market, I maximally took the three inter-trade setups for today, and I was done trading. But let's run around and see what other setup that we were able to get from the market, right? EUR-USD also gave us a good type 3 sell opportunity because our directional bias is still bearish, right? And the candlestick pattern is present for your sell opportunity. And the timing was right, it was around 6:30, right? The signal was issued during the London hour. And if you saw it, you could have taken it, get 30 pips out of the market, and you'll be done. So I was not able to engage on this, but I still was able to manage the swing position that I'm still holding as the market is coming to the end of these 3 levels of drop from this position here. We can see we have the 3 levels of drop, that being 1, and then that being the second one. Actually, we have about 4 levels of drop, this being the 3rd one here, and this being the 4th one here. Right? So knowing that I have these levels of drop, what I'm gonna do, the next phase I'm gonna do is I'm looking for the market to start either consolidating from these zones here. The market can start consolidating here, or they give us a pullback like that, and then we wait for another reset for the market to continue coming back down bearish. And what I'm looking at here is we're likely to get a deep pullback. A deep pullback, I mean, we might come all the way up to around these zones here before we get a reset for us to continue coming back down bearish. If the market does this, then I will be okay. Or if the market gives me a peak low, right, I will accept the risk knowing that this is a counter trend trade against the overall direction. Right, get my pips, get out of the market, and wait for the market to reset to continue with the trend. So this is a scenario that can be able to happen. It can happen either in the course of the week or next week. but let's be prepared that the market can go into a ranging mode like this one here after achieving the 3 levels of drop, like what we experienced here. Like what we experienced here. Sorry. After we experience these 3 levels of drop, see the market went into some kind of consolidation, gave us a reset for them to continue coming back down there. So I'm anticipating to get the same kind of price activities here. I'm looking for them to start doing the same thing.
We're going to make the thing for Shane Warren.
That's
starting. So what they do?
Who is this? Kaki, please, can you mute your mic? Good. All right, so this is what I'm anticipating. I will exit the swing opportunity on EUR-USD and then wait for the market to reset again. Once they give me a good reset, I will be able to engage it for another sell. All right, I think Jojo did levels on EUR-USD yesterday. I don't think I need to repeat on the levels. All right. USD card had a good swing positions also. I didn't get to engage it, but we're having this run here. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3 up in the air there. So what are we anticipating this market to do? Right after those 3 levels of rise, they can give us another false level up. Let's look at these structures here, right? And then we start getting the market coming back down bearish. Because if we look at DXY has moved the same levels. It had this inverse head and shoulder, right? And then we have that 1, we have that 2, we have that 3, we have that 4. We are at this peak high, potential peak high forming. That's why I said if EUR-USD gives us a peak low and they start moving bullish, then I'm anticipating DXY to move bearish temporarily before we can get another reset for them to move bullish. But let's look at the monthly time frame. Where is DXY? Right? This is what I can see on DXY. We are at these highs here. We have 1, we have 2, then the market gave us this. So this area here, these levels here, they are not complete. If we look at the weekly time frame, this is what I can see. That's why I was saying I'm anticipating dollar to continue to start coming back down bearish for retracement because of this peak low here. We have 1 level of rise, 2 second level of rise. We have a 3rd level of rise, and then there we are up coming to these highs here. So this is a level that we just have to consider that sellers are likely to come into play because they have tapped up that level. And will we continue buying at these levels here? If we want to continue buying, we need to get price to give us a discounted price coming back to these lows somewhere, and then we get a reset for them to continue moving bullish. This is something that we don't know whether we are going to get that reset, but my area of concentration is at these highs here, right? If I see an M structure on the lower time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, if I see a structure like this on the 1 hour time frame, then I'll be looking to start shorting DXY. That means I'll start buying GBP-USD, EUR-USD, NZD-USD for a short term until I get another reset for DXY to move bullish. and then I can start selling again those pairs that are paired with DXY, right? And what I usually do is I'm focusing more in taking swing positions than looking for the intraday setups. I feel much more comfortable looking for those swing positions. Once they show up, I take them, right? And then I continue managing them, right? So if we can work on your skills in getting those levels and understanding what the market is going to do next when those opportunities strike, you will be good to go, all right? NZD-USD is another trade that I had a swing position all the way from here. Right. Why? Because I counted my levels. This was the anticipated peak high, right? I set my stop loss, sell stop at these lows here, right? Once they established this high, they activated my sell stop and I just let it go, right? So it's been running bearish. So this is first level of drop. As we said, we have the second level of drop. So I'm anticipating the market to give us a pullback for us to get a third level of drop for the completion of that cycle. So did we get a setup for today? Let's check and see. Yes, there was a setup here whereby the first leg was created during the Asian, then the second leg was created around 7. Still, the trade was valid. This was your entry signal for your sell opportunity, right? Because you will have observed and see, this is the Asian range. Look at the price activities. They hit the low, they went back up. This is the highs here. They issued the candlestick pattern. This is where you will have accepted the risk in line with your directional bias. Right? So let's establish how many levels have they gone for this week so that we get to know what are we looking for out potentially what are we looking out for tomorrow. Right? So we can say these levels here are complete. We had a reset. Let's look from the reset, how many levels do we have? Right? So we have a reset here. We have a level of drop. We have another level of drop. And then we have another level of drop here. Or let me just be clear. We have a level of drop. We have a level of, we have a next level of drop here. This area here, it's just clear pushes. I would say the entire of this is that level there, and then we have this other level here. Right? So if I'm looking for sells, I will, although my directional bias is bearish, yes.
Little bit.
But if I'm looking for sells, I'll be very cautious entering sells all the way down here. I need price to give me a discounted price, just like how they did this. They gave me this discounted price and they continue coming back down bearish. So what I'm looking out for in NZD-USD, I will exit the sell positions that I have and wait for the market can go into contraction, give us that buy opportunity and wait for another reset. If it comes, then we re-engage it to continue coming back down bearish. Remember, the market make a cycle, right? And you understand how we define levels in every time frame. So if this is our peak high, this cycle here, it's not complete, right? We need to see another reset to get another 3 levels of drop for us to deem that level is complete, right? But as for now, I will exit the sell positions, wait and see how the market is going to structure. Even if they continue selling from here, I'm not really interested in looking for sells. I'm looking for the market to give me a midweek reversal, and then temporal get buys for the short time, and then later on get a reset. All right, so that's how you have to look at the market, observe at it, wait patiently for these opportunities to show up, and once they show up, you can take advantage of the same. The last one that I was looking at was Euro card. I mean AUD card, right? We look at it from the 4-hour time frame. This is what I can see as our peak high. We have those levels of drop. My interest is on this level here, right? My interest is what price action is taking at this zone here, right? So if I'm interested, I exit the sell positions that I had on AUD card, and I'm waiting to see what kind of price action. Can this be a possible reset for them to continue going back down bearish? Possibly, yes, right? Possibly, very true, because I took a sell position and I'm still holding it. Another entry, I exited the other entry that I had, and I took another entry later on in the day on this candlestick pattern here. If we go to the 1-hour time frame, this is what I saw, and that gave me the reason to enter this market, right? I looked at it as a first leg here, a mark session information here, right? And then price has gone back into contraction. It's not really been confirmed, right? And then we get another drop. This is what I'm looking out for. It doesn't mean this is what is going to happen, but if it happens, well and good, right? There is another possibility, right? Since they have already sold all the way here, there is another possibility that this can be a trap for sellers to continue holding sells, a trap for sellers to continue holding sells, and then you see them coming off, going back up like that, short buys, and then we get a reset for them to continue coming back down bearish. All right. So for me, after every 3 levels of drop, I exit my swing position. I wait for the market to reset and find a different way of how to engage it. All right. So those are the markets that I'm looking at, but I missed GBP-USD sells. I didn't engage in GBP-USD sells because I didn't get a clear setup to engage for the sells for this week, for the entire week. We had a good reset here. We have all these levels of drop coming back down here, right? So when I was trying to do the reviews on GBP-USD, yes, it had a good position if you are able to get the sells. But for in terms of the intraday setups, I didn't really get any sell setup for me to engage on the 15 minutes time frame. All right. The reason why I missed this setup, if I send my illustration, is I was looking for them to come back to these highs here. I was anticipating the market to come back to these highs here, and then I will have gotten the sell opportunity that I wanted, right? But when this happened, it happened so fast, I was not able to get engaged, to get an engagement on it, right? So in my illustration, I will send this video when I was looking for this opportunity. I was looking for the market to come here and give us an information, and then we start selling. Right? This is what I was looking for, but the market didn't come back to my levels. Instead, they started selling immediately from here. So we're still bearish, very, very bearish. We're waiting for the market to give us a discounted price. If we see the market moving, starting to move bullish like this here, just know the discounted pricing. Pricing is come for us to continue selling, coming back down here. Right? Someone saying is not hearing. You are not hearing me? I think my mic is on. Stacy, you said you are not hearing. Check.
No,
check.
I'm hearing you. Okay, no, that's okay. Thank you.
Oh, it's now that I'm reading the messages to see what happened. All right, someone asked about US 30, and if you look at my charts, I don't trade gold, I don't trade US 30, but because of the request, I will just look at them. It's not that I don't, I had a bad experience with them when I was starting off, and then I just kept them off. So I'm only trading the currency pairs for now. But let's look at US 30. The person who asked about US 30, what are you looking at?
I mean, what are you looking at? What is the directional bias? Don't you want to ask them? If you're looking at your stuff, is this what you're looking at?
You're looking for the directional bias in US 30, right? Let's
Yeah.
go to the monthly time frame. I think Joe did a directional bias on this, but let me also give my point of view. That one, it's not so clear. Let's go to the monthly time frame. Yeah, I had a directional bias on this for some time, but we are at this peak high here. This level here is not complete. We are at this peak high here, retracement. So there is a likelihood of this peak high here. You see how it's moving. You can get a reset, and then you can get to continue moving bullish like that. This is the plan A based on the market structure, right? But if we go to the lower time frame, let's see how they are structured, right? How they are moving. 1, 2, potential third here, and then we continue moving bullish. All right, that's what I can see from my end. 1, 2, probably they establish a clear low. Once they have established a clear low, and then from there we can be able to get that reset for it to continue moving bullish. So I'm looking for them to exploit these lows. All right, or remember, we have the anatomy of the M's and W's, whereby the second leg doesn't come near the first leg. All right, so let's observe price around these zones here and see what we can be able to see. Once we get a signal that they are starting to move bullish, and then we can be able to engage on it. That is my opinion as of now, right? That is for the future. That is what to come. All right, but short term, we are bearish. Short term, we are bearish until they complete these retracements they are doing, right, around these zones here. If once they exploit these zones, you can be able to look for the candlestick patterns around these price actions here, right? Because there are a lot of orders here. There are people who are buying from this support here, right? We don't buy from these zones just blindly. We wait for the market to establish, right, itself, and once we've gotten that clear establishment, then we can engage it for a buy opportunity. The person who asked, are you okay with my explanation, or you have something else to add up? The person who asked the question about. All right, GBP CHF and GBP AUD. All right, I'll give you my opinion on that, but let me check on GBP. Someone asked about GBP NZD. Right. GBP NZD on the 4-hour time frame, we can see we have this completion of these levels, but let's look at it from the monthly time frame. What do we have? Can we be able to establish? Can we be able to make a good establishment on the weekly? Okay, 1, 2, 3, pick low, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have these. I will take these as a math session information, one level of drop. Well, somebody was having a different opinion about GBP NZD on the daily time frame. I'm going from the daily time frame. This is what I can see on the daily time frame. I need to go to where I can be able to count my levels. All right. This level here is complete to deem to give us this peak high here. So from this peak high here, we have 3 levels of drop. This is our peak low. All right. This is our peak low here. We have 1, we have 2. And then let's consider this zone here. Let's consider this candlestick pattern here, order block here, right? I'm bearish on this based on this move here on the market cycle, all right? But I'm also paying attention to what price is doing around these zones here, right? We also have this peak high. We have this peak high, right? A level of
Why it doesn't go right up with the thing?
Price is going into contraction. So there's a likelihood it will continue falling back down here. If we don't get a reaction here, we continue moving bullish. We might fall up to certain these levels here, and then we set to start going bullish. All right. That's what I'm looking at. Most likely, we'll continue dropping up to around these zones here, and then we continue. If we don't reset from here, we go bullish. We can get some more drops based on these order block here on the daily time frame for them to continue moving bullish. If they don't do that, I'm still looking for more sells because off this peak high, I'm basing my analysis from off this peak high here. 1 level of drop, 2nd level of drop, price has gone into contraction. I'm anticipating to have a 3rd level of drop. All right. But again, from my experience, once you have a peak high, 1 level of drop, 2nd level of drop, price goes into this contraction. Tomorrow, another contraction. When you're anticipating to get that sell, you find price moving bullish, coming back to those highs there, because this business, it's all about the money. If they have accumulated enough money up here, they will not continue making people continue being profitable to give them the sales. They will repeat these highs here and maybe even restart the cycle again, right? But if they give us a sell setup for tomorrow, I will be able to take it based how price is behaving off that peak high, right? Did we have any sell setup today? No. There was no signal. There was nothing here. Price was just moving sideways, right? But if we see them tomorrow coming off the Asian range to yesterday's high, somewhere like here, then it will be a point of interest for me to think about getting sells. If they give us the sells, it will be good. Right? GBP AUD, somebody asked about GBP AUD. What are you looking for in GBP AUD? Right? GBP AUD off this peak high from the daily time frame, where we have one level of drop, second level of drop, third level of drop, right? We have this peak high here, level of drop, level of drop, level of drop. So we have our peak low here. So we have a peak low here. The price started moving bullish, but my directional bias still remains bearish, right? Because this cycle here is not yet complete. I want it to get completed. So what are we getting from here? Price action. We have an inverse head and shoulder. We have an inverse head and shoulder. One of the signals of change of direction, right? Then we have their prices here, right? Then we have these retracements here.
Oh, it's a double bottom again.
Yes, so price is trading between these lows here, right? So what you'll ask yourself,